Cavies, it's Barbie. And on this episode of Barbie and the Caveman, we are going to talk a little bit about witchcraft. Now, I see a lot of people online calling themselves baby witches. Well, I want to explain the difference between somebody that is a seeker, not like the Harry Potter seeker, but like witchcraft seeker, and a baby witch. So here it goes. A seeker is somebody who is shopping. They are looking at witchcraft and they are saying, well, how does it make me feel? How hard is this? They're looking into a lot of different paths. They're looking into kind of an eclectic view of witchcraft. They haven't really settled on one thing that they're interested in, or three things that they're really interested in. They're still really entranced with the sexy magic aspect of witchcraft, which is great, which is so fun. And we hope they find something that they love, and we hope that they stay and they become a baby witch. A baby witch is a term that quite a few people use, and it can be seen as a derogatory term. So by calling somebody a baby witch, if that is really what their heart is, then that's fantastic. But sometimes when people throw on the term baby witch, they want to function more like gatekeepers. They want to keep information from them. They want to have them read and struggle as much as they did coming into their witchcraft life, or if they're a generational witch like I am, what has been handed down. So it gets to be really, really difficult with the baby witch concept. Now, if you consider yourself a baby witch, generally that means that you are on an initiatory path. That means that you are embarking on your year and a day. And in some areas of witchcraft, some styles of witchcraft, to become an initiate, you need to do a year and a day of study. That means you do something every day to learn about the gods and goddesses, to learn about magic, to learn about the universe, and just little things will do. So if you are on this path, let me show you kind of the basic tools that you're gonna need. Well, first you're gonna need a candle. A candle. The easiest kind of candle to use is a white candle, because you can draw on it sigils, you can write on it intentions, you can cleanse it with the moon or with some salt. It's kind of a one-stop shop. So a white candle. Now, candles come in lots of different sizes, and I have been asked to do a video later on candles and the different things they mean as you use them and what things are used for what, but that's not really important to a baby witch, to a novice. So get yourself a candle. You can use tea candles, little tea lights. They're great. They burn for about an hour or so. So if you're, just trying to do like some little full moon stuff or new moon stuff or great little things like that, they're perfect. They're perfect amount of time, and yay. Next kind of candle is a small taper. This is a small taper. There's also a long taper. Long tapers are usually used more for ceremony and ritual, because they burn a lot longer, and ritual or ceremony generally takes a little longer, especially if you're in like a coven and there's a lot of people. So they have to pass the light one to one, so it takes a little longer. So usually larger tapers are used. And then of course you have the smaller taper, which is called a chime candle. And these are super easy. I get like boxes of these in the hundreds on Amazon for like $12 or so. It's ridiculous. And they have all the different colors, and it doesn't matter. All you really need is one. And that's kind of it. And you know what? I've even used birthday candles in a pinch if I'm doing something that I really want a very short amount of time to burn to activate my spell. So that's kind of the candle basics. Also, you need a candle snuffer. In a lot of traditions, it is considered bad luck, or sometimes just bad manners, to blow out a candle. You snuff the candle. So the candle is burning and you simply snuff it. You can pick these up at antique stores for like $1, or just use a little glass bowl. So if you have your candle, then you just snuff it with the glass bowl, or if you're using more of a ceremonial candle, you can just deprive it of oxygen and it will go out. So there you go. Next thing you need is some jars. Jars. These are spice jars. Yeah, just grocery store spice jars. I like spice jars because if you're doing smaller spells or if you're doing something that's kind of quick, especially if like I'm out for a nature walk or something, I'll throw one of these in my pocket. Just as I find things, I'll just stick it in there and I can take it home. They have shakers. I am a green witch. I'm on the green path, as you know, through Barbie and the Caveman. Lots of gardening, lots of cooking, lots of herbals. I am on the green path. So I also save these for as I harvest. Like this is a tarragon one, for instance. So when I do my tarragon harvest, I will hang my herbs to dry. I will then grind them and I'll just like reuse the jar. You can use pasta jars, you can use pickle jars, although they kind of, you know, they do hold on to their scent. So you kind of want to put some ammonia in them for a little while, but easy. Next thing you need is a journal. Now, any kind of journal will do. You're just, this is just a place to write notes, to keep track of things that you're learning. I got this one and it took me probably about 15 years to really start writing in it. And I'm still transposing the notes and rituals and structures that I've created. I'm still transposing them from scraps of paper and a notebook paper and a 3-ring binder, that kind of stuff, which also works great. So there you go. Next thing you need is a couple of books. I grabbed some of the books that I have used most readily. And of course, any witch that was practicing in any time in the 90s has Buckland's Complete Guide to Witchcraft. Now, this one has been greatly loved. Of course, it has been all over the place, but it is a great book. It gives you a lot of the basics in a really approachable way. So it's nice. I found it very approachable. I found it gave a lot of information, but it is very strict. So if you're looking for something that's more kind of, if you're more of like, you know, an armchair witch, where you like the philosophy of it or the psychological aspects of it, but you don't really want to actually get up and do something, then, you know, then it's great to read about. But if you are an active practicing witch, especially as a baby witch, that's really the only way you're going to learn, is to just get out there and do something. It's a great resource. The next one is Sabbats. I really like this book. It has lots and lots of info. I got all kinds of stuff tucked in here from different things that, you know, that I've done, and little notes that I have. It's great. It does break down the Sabbats, the lesser Sabbats and the greater Sabbats. So it gives you the history of them. It gives you ideas for rituals. It gives you ideas for celebrations, some menu ideas. It gives you a lot of information that is really awesome. Another one that I really like is called Witch Crafting. This is a little more dense, but what it does have is it has exercises in it. And if you're the kind of person like me who really wants to learn to, you know, embrace ideas and to really grow through them, exercises is a great thing. If you're, like I said, an armchair witch and you're just like, oh, I just like the ideas of it, you know, then you're probably, let's be realistic, not going to do the exercises. That's totally fine. Like, you have to find your purpose and your path and do you. But I find that really good. Now, the book I could not find, and this happens a lot with Wicca and with witchcraft, is that you'll have a book and then somebody will come over and they'll say, oh, I'm really thinking about, you know, becoming an initiate. I'm really looking at, and that book was called A Year and a Day. And it is a fantastic book. It is a big book. There's also called Another Year and a Day. It's for your second year after you become an initiate and kind of start moving through the process of learning a lot of the aspects of craft. So those are some really good books too. And I can put some links to them and give you a list in the comments below. Now, if you're looking for just some really fun stuff, Oracle cards are a lot of fun. You know, they're a little more expensive. They take a little time to figure out and to learn, but also a good set of tarot cards. And now this is personal preference completely. I love the Gardarian set, but what I use is the Goddess deck. It just really speaks to me. The art, the symbolism just speaks to me. I read it very easily. I enjoy it. It feels good to me. You know, and so there's lots of different types. The Rider-Waite deck is one of the very old traditional decks. I do have one of those, which is really nice. I have like a witch's tarot, which is a little darker, and it's also a lot of fun. You know, you just have to figure out kind of what you like. You can look online, you can go to used bookstores, you can go to metaphysical shops, and just put your hands on them and look at them and flip through them. Now, there is a saying that you should be gifted your first set of tarot cards. Now, depends on how strict you want to be. It really depends on how classic. If you're looking at kind of an initiatory type coven path, then your mentor or your head witch or whoever's kind of taking care of you and pulling you along will probably gift you that set out of tradition, just like a braided belt, an initiative belt. They will do that with you. Now, if you're on a solitary path, I was on a solitary path for many, many, many years, and I bought my first deck. Nobody had them, you know, like I inherited some other things, but I didn't see the tarot deck until I guess about 10 years ago, and I opened a drawer and was like, holy moly, here it is. So there you go. So I hope this information helps you, kind of that differentiation between the seeker and the baby witch. And then as a baby witch, what are some of the, you know, the real rock bottom things that you can use? And no, a lot of this information's online. You know, you can Google so much, and then there's tons of Facebook groups and things online as well. You can follow Instagram. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter. You know, feel free to follow me on Barbie and the Caveman on all those avenues, and on YouTube, obviously. And then let me know what you need. Let me know what you want. If you want me to do some other videos on, you know, some great books or some notes or some, you know, kind of whatever, I'll just kind of keep plodding along and give little pieces of witchcraft. I have been practicing for about 30 years now and come from kind of a long line of very spiritual women. So it's just the way of the world. So my world, at least. All right, well, thanks for stopping by. Please hit the subscribe notification, that little bell, and then tell all your friends. All right, see you again soon, guys. Thanks for stopping by.